Some thoughts from the streets of Beijing there in the wake of that nuclear test carried out by North Korea and the repercussions on Sino-North Korean relations. And before we go to daytime for some reaction from a Chinese cartoonist to a new survey, a blue book actually, which indicates an apparent drop in the level of trust in modern Chinese society. Our cartoon today comes from vcartoon.cn. It's entitled Trust Seriously Wounded, and if we have a look at the picture here, we can see four rather menacing characters there, all in black, and they're all attacking two humanized characters. They're actually two words down there. Those words which are sort of being beaten up and are bloodied and so on are the words trust, and the black characters, they represent various parts of Chinese society. Let's go through them from the left to the right. On the very left we have officials and people. So the cartoonist is looking at the trust between these various groups. The second one there is doctors and patients. The second from the right says police and public, and on the far right there is the business community and the public. And if we look at the not just the weapons, but look at the headgear on those menacing characters, you can see the one on the left has the typical official's hat from the imperial period, which represents officialdom in China. The next one a medical hat. The next one obviously a police uniform, and the last representing the business community. Well, this is the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, which published its blue book on social mentality study 2012 to 2013. Essentially a study of how its Chinese society trusts one another. Now the figures showed that out of a possible 100, where everybody trusts everybody completely, in Chinese the general level of trust in society was just 60, and that was actually down from 63 in 2010. Only half the interviewees said that they felt that most people were trustworthy, and just 30% said that they would trust strangers. Interestingly, that went down to 24% when it talked about strangers online. The book also found, apart from individual trust, high levels of distrust between certain groups in Chinese society, particularly the one on the left there, between the government and the public. Indeed, the report cited one official who said that one of the problems of this had very much to do with the demolition of buildings in the countryside to make way for development by local governments. And he was cited in the quote, and he said, in terms of demolition, some residents assumed that parts of the compensation that they were to be offered had already been embezzled by local officials, so they resorted to petitioning and looking for higher subsidies. Well, at the same time, those local officials treated them as troublemakers and did what they could to stop them getting that money, and this meant the mistrust grew stronger. So that was some of the, between the government and the public, mistrust. Doctors and patients, of course. This is something there have been a number of horror stories of doctors actually being attacked by patients who felt that they were being mistreated. There's been a lot of talk in the media about doctors taking money, doing operations and tests that weren't necessary, and that the level of healthcare is substandard, or seen as substandard by patients at least. And this has reduced greatly the image of doctors, who once were seen as sort of heroes of society in China, angels in white as they were known, down to the case now where many people outside of the profession do not trust them. And of course the authors of this, Wang Junxiu, said that these changes in society had to do with less contact with family and family circles, and substandard and economic systems, and a legal system which didn't follow the rule of law, meant that scams and frauds were much more possible to get away with, particularly online. Finally, the book says that different social levels and different cultural backgrounds mean people have different values, and this means that these different groups have trouble trusting one another. So that is the take of a cartoon from vcartoon.cn on falling levels of trust, apparently, in modern Chinese society.